day, everyone. Welcome. Pray you're all doing well. We're going to tap in with a sister that came to Miami, and she's going to share her story and her experiences being here, physically here, doing the breath, having a private session with Scalar as well. And I see she's in here. Okay. Add as a moderator. No. Let's see. Hey, sister, can you add can you send the request button? And then I'll add you. Let's see. Oh, there we go. How's everyone doing? Hey, Dill.
Oh.
There she is. Hey there.
You can see me okay, right? Everything's good.
I can see you. I can hear you. I can feel you. Thank you for hopping on. Thank you for wanting to share. Really appreciate it.
It's incredible. I've been honestly.
Yeah, so give a backstory, share who you are.
So my name is Amore. I've been following you, I don't know, for maybe like a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, and I was like interested in breath work, all of that, but what really got me on this health train is I have this like condition, syndrome, whatever, called EDS, and you can see like everything pops in and out of place. It's hypermobility, and I'm as holistic as it gets, right? Like I try to eat clean, drink clean, and there really is no treatment for it. And I had like an FSM machine, frequency specific microcurrent machine, that has like EDS programs for it, but and it helps a little bit. It helps, but as I started getting into these frequencies and Dr. Rife and all these different things, I was coming across the Scalar, and I was like, dang, I gotta get my way to Miami. I gotta talk to you. And you're just so knowledgeable, man. It's been so hard to try to find something that can actually help where like my skin feels together, because like usually my skin is super hypermobile and like everything's moving all over, like my organs, my stomach is moving in and out of place, right? And it's like my back will pop out, all this stuff, and it's like really hard, and it's really hard on my mental health and all of that. But I'll just jump into it, like getting this treatment that I had with you was like a huge eye-opener, because I left from you and still saw results for days, even today. And like using these like Scalar drops like in my shakes and whatnot, like because you gave me the Scalar water infused with this program. Oh, I think I forgot to say that.
Yeah, so you came, we did the breath work, and I actually had her on the grounding mat, because I told people you can actually run a copper wire connected to the grounding mat, connected to the Scalar. So we were running specific programs and frequencies for literally what you have, and DNA healing and other stuff like that.
Don't find that literally anywhere. Like you were like, EDS, let me look this up, and you just typed it in, and there it was. And like I was shocked, because I had I just came in to see you with an open mind. Like I didn't know what I was gonna expect. Never really done this sort of thing where I'm like meeting someone online, and like I'm bringing my parents with. I brought my mom with, and she was mind blown. Like she's telling everyone. Like we're sitting next to this lady at the airport. She's like, you gotta look into Scalar. I'm like, oh my god. I was getting made fun of this months ago, right, by my family, and here's my mom telling her sister, telling everyone. And my mom was like, she had the treatment with me, right? She was on the grounding mat, laying in the pyramid, and while you were doing breath work with me and the sound bowls and Geraldine, right? She was playing her sound bowls and singing. It was just like colliding together. My mom knocked out. We saw her snoring for a little bit, and it was like definitely like otherworldly. That's the best way to describe it, because well, literally the next day my foot got run over by a car, and instead of it getting fractured, broken, like I don't know, completely not able to walk, like I'm walking, I'm running up and down the stairs, like um I'm like I got like dragged a little bit, so my knee, I don't know, my knee kind of like was completely like scabbed up, and you put a picture on the scalar like that day, and like the bruising is complete here. You don't mind if I show my foot, right? Oh, I can't hear you too. Okay, okay, perfect.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't know if
I
I
said it's
lost you.
okay.
So this is where my foot got run over. You can see there's like a tiny bit of bruising, but like compared to what it was before, it was swollen. There was a huge lump, and like, I mean, I feel like I'm a little different compared to other people with the EDS. I feel like my bones just dislocated. So
Yeah, so what normally would happen when you would get, you know, an injury and hurt in that sense with your condition
EDS
before
is like a
Scalar
missing
and
link
all
in the
that?
collagen, and the collagen doesn't form properly, and it's like a genetic thing. So it's in every cell of my being, and don't heal properly. Like I'll just like I just scar everywhere. Like I have like a bunch of scars, and instead of the skin not healing for my knee and for my foot, like it literally started healing right away. Like the fact that my knee is getting new skin, and like it's just like it doesn't look like it's gonna scar. Um usually I'm like scarring all the time, so it's like incredible to see that much of a difference. And like, you know, it's not that I was skeptical, but I was waiting to see the results, because scalars and everything, right? And so to see just firsthand, like, oh my God, like I was just blown away. And you can, like, even just taking one drop of the water, like you can taste it like go right into your cells. It's like electric. It's literally electric. It's crazy. And it was cool to watch you with the EMF reader, and you put the sticker on my mom's phone, your sticker, right? And it dropped completely. My mom's like, we need to order all these stickers for the house. We gotta put it. I'm like telling her like, let's turn the Wi-Fi off at night, and like everyone's like, oh, the alarm system's connected to it. This is connected to it. I'm like, and she's like, we're gonna get all these stickers. We're gonna put them everywhere. I'm like, okay, great. And no, but it's really cool to watch other people, like my mom, for instance. Like literally 5 months ago, I was telling her like, you know what? There'll be scalar powered cars in the future, right? That's what I kept telling my parents, and they're like, what happened to Nikola Tesla? Why don't you go become a doctor? This or that. I'm like, all right. And then and my mom's telling my dad about Scalar and everything that you've done, and it's like a whole different atmosphere now, you know? Like, I mean, like I'm very like, I will do whatever it takes so I don't feel handicapped, right? Because some days, like, there's the spectrum where there are people who have what I have that are in a wheelchair on a feeding tube. And then there are people who have what I have that are Olympic gold medal athletes, gymnastic athletes, winning all the awards, or there's actresses, or there's singers, right? And then there's me, like, I want to be the superhero, right? Like, I don't want to be sick. And so that's what started all of this. Like, literally last year, I think I jumped on a live with you in November, and we were like talking about juicing and like the music industry and all this different stuff, right? And sorry, can you still hear me? Is it too? My
Yeah,
dog's
you're
like
good. You're
going
good. You're
crazy
good.
up
You're
there.
good. I can hear you.
And yeah, so I started like juicing for months, and it just reset my whole system. And like everyone who's not familiar with this kind of like lifestyle or living, it's like, oh, you're gonna hurt yourself. Oh, you're not doing things right, right? And like my mom's speaking to you. I know I keep talking, but it's just so interesting because like when she talked to you and how like you're like, well, I do all this juicing and I do all this breath work, like I'm like watching her teach my aunt like the three breaths and the five breaths. I'm like, what's going on over there? You know? And you had me wear that pyramid while we were in the pyramid, the Prinodine. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm trying. Paradigm.
Yeah, paradigm. And then I
Exactly.
connected the
And
wire to
that was
Scalar.
like insane. Like I've had a bunch of concussions, um, and the thing with my like with the EDS is the concussions don't heal properly because like it's the missing collagen in all the cells, so it's in my brain also, and so like I get a lot of brain fog or I get disoriented a lot, and like just putting that on, I was like, whoa, it just like it took off that extra weight that I always had to carry, you know, and so it's just incredible to notice that much of a difference. And like, yeah, so I'm like so appreciative, and like you even after I left, you put my a picture of my foot on the scaler, and because of like getting it run over and all this stuff, and I was noticing you were like check back in with me later that day, and I was like no, I was literally watching before my eyes like the bruising just like going away, and like I have like a little numbness on top of my foot, but I'm like walking and like running up and down the stairs and doing all these things. Like that's unheard.
So for an injury like that, how long? I know the concussion, your past concussion, it took you a while to even heal from that. But in general, for an injury like that, normally how long would it take to even see a difference or feel a difference or to feel
That's the thing.
normal or,
We're talking like
back to homeostasis?
I had the treatment with you literally the day before my foot got run over. Had I not had that treatment and my foot got run over, I don't know what would have happened. Like I don't know if like I would have broke something. Like all my toes are okay. Like it ran over my toes and none of them are broken. Like this is unheard of. You know what I'm saying? So like um yeah, my bones like dislocated and like went back into place. So like the EDS like helped that with like, which is normal for me. I'm like saying like whatever, but I think that's the only way that my foot didn't break was that the scalar helped keep my ligaments and connective tissue intact, but also like gave it wiggle room to move on the impact, if that makes any sense, so that they can move instead of break under pressure, which is so cool.
I feel that you're sharing how important even collagen, something simple as collagen is important to the body to have and harmonize with. So I was talking about the other day because the guy who felt, who cut his finger and he couldn't feel anything in his finger until we blasted him with the scalar. All these little things we take for granted, like simply lifting up a cup or moving from side to side. All these little things we take for granted impact on our lives until it's actually gone, right? So I think that's super important to be in gratitude for everyone here in general, to just realize how important all these little mechanisms within our body, down to the breath, to the air we breathe, really affect our whole entire lifestyle and outlook, perception,
No,
and how we go
yeah,
about life.
honestly, I'm so grateful because I was a little. I wanted to really come see, but I was like a little iffy. Like I had my whole family with me. I was like, maybe next time I'm in Florida. But then like my parents pushed me. They're like, come on, like all you've been doing is talking about this guy for like a year and a half now. Like you might as well go. And I'm like, okay. And the fact that you had that program for like what I'm actually going through is like insane. Like I have an FSM. Like, they don't even have a program for what I have. And like I'm like calling the company yesterday, like so upset, and they're like, okay, we'll work on it, this and that. And it's like when you have like a scalar device, that's really all you need. Like that's what we've been, like my family and I've been talking about, because that's when you're in control of your own health and you can input what you want to do.
Yeah, and I showed you so many different use cases. Thank you for sharing about with the water. I almost forgot I gave you the water, but what we did with the water was during your session, I had the water going and imprint those specific frequencies for EBS that she has, and that was really imprinted into the water. But on top of that, it was your own breathing as well. That essence was also imprinted into the water. That's what scalar technology it does. It amplifies the scalar that's around us in general, and if there's specific intention, then that gets imprinted at a deeper level to where we can really feel it, harmonize with it, and also structure water. So
Yeah, I
yeah, thank
also
you
want to
for
say, you're
sharing.
talking about how like you showed me the other ways that like scalar can be used, like the device that how you have it can be used, and you're talking about how like you can implement certain programs and run them 24/7 throughout the house, and like you talked about putting the glyphosate frequency.
Yeah, yeah, the
That's so
herbicide
cool,
detox.
man. It's in everything. It's literally in the air. Like you detox as much as you want,
Yep.
but you can't get it out of you. And like you just put that program on. Like that's
And in the scalar and electro research, a Google Doc on the website, there's an article that talks about how the nanoparticles of gold made this old temple the most cleanest air it could possibly be. But when you go outside the temple into the city or even into the jungle space or whatever, they have more toxic readings. But it was the actual gold inside this old temple that they thought would be filled with um, I don't know, mold and all different types of
right.
stuff. They went in there with hazmat suits, but they went into the most cleanest, purest air you could possibly embody, because the gold nanoparticles, as the sun was hitting going into the temple, because our ancestors knew about the sun, gold, all of that, and it was restructuring the hydrogen atoms in the air to have a pure essence. I mean, you feel it when you come
You
into my
could like
space, right?
when as soon as you walked into your place, like you felt it, because like we're in my like you're in Miami, right, in the city, so it's all this like crazy energy. You're getting all these energy from all these different people. You've got business people, you have people that are living here, so it's just like constant movement. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like firing off, right? And like as soon as I walked in, it's just like like, okay, take a deep breath, like and it's like really calming. Like I want to get rid of my bed. I want to get one of those pyramids in my room. So if you want to send me the dimensions, that'd be great.
Yeah, and I told her as well, you can run a copper wire into the ground outside your bedroom. But on top of that, you can actually, if your parents are up for it, if your whole family's up for it, run a copper wire from the scalar itself and connect it to everywhere that has that has water, in terms of the faucet, or the main source of where the water comes from, you can connect a copper wire around it. Because I'm there
That
having
was
the pool, the salt
cool.
pool experience, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then someone hit me up and was like, hey, bro, I want to throw a private party, but after that, I want you to show me how we can connect this to my water supply. And I'm like, technically, we're already doing that with Scalar water, so we can easily do that with people who, like in Ghana, because I'm going to go to Ghana very soon, and they're not using the same plumbing as the U.S. They're very progressive and one with nature, if you will. And that community specifically, they're going to use copper pipes for their water. So we already know how conductive copper is and how healing copper is. So they're going to wrap
Oh
the copper wire
my,
and connect it with
that's
my Scalar device. So it's infusing, also helping the community heal.
that.
So this is where the future is now. There is no, I wish. We're
Yeah.
here now. Let's do it.
So I do want to talk to you about that. You had um, a distiller, and you had that connected to the Scalar, or how did you have that? Because
Yeah, so the actual distiller is not connected. We don't, because we like people also testing the difference in terms of when they drink it too. So we like doing that. But I did put a Scalar sticker on
and
the distiller.
then
I
you
did do that.
had the vortex,
Yeah.
the Mew or Mew, my
The Mayu. That's on the website, guys. Because I see some people asking. You go to the biohacking page. It's all there.
dang. When I was there, I should have asked you about the frequency breathers, man.
Oh yeah, you can also connect the frequency breathers because I don't know if I'm allowed to share it publicly, but there's someone right now who's using the frequency breathers, and I told her you can actually connect the copper wire to the frequency breather and connect it to the scalar. So that way you're breathing in sweeping frequencies. You don't have to connect to a tablet. And I also told her you can also connect the copper wire to a tree as well, or your crystals, stuff of that nature.
No, I was really wanting to get those frequency breathers when you first dropped them. I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing. Because like now you're breathing in pure air and you're getting the frequency straight to your brain.
You're also breathing in crystals, literally the quartz crystal, also with the tensor ring as well. So the copper ions and negative ions.
That's
Yeah. And technically, you're breathing in a scalar impulse because as you're breathing in the air and the tensor ring is on connected with the crystal inside the filter, that's technically a scalar impulse. So you're literally breathing in structured scalar.
that's that's like next level.
It's just another level. Let's
No,
normalize it.
the coolest thing was seeing your scalar projector. Seeing that in action because I like was watching Instagram and how you literally just said like this person cut his finger and he had no.
Yeah, I was asked because my friend Nicole, because I was over talking to somebody and she was blasting this guy, and I go over there. I'm like, oh, how long have you been blasting him? She's on under 5 minutes. I was like, instantaneous, just like that.
That's crazy. But yeah, though that's just one of one right now, right? With the
Yeah, so many use cases. I'm like, why not integrate this into events? Why not integrate this into a deeper experience and have fun while doing it as well? Healing can also be fun. It doesn't always have to be in a downward outlook, but it's both. It's both spectrum. It's not one side or another, but it's both, right? And since it is both, why not honor the fun
yeah,
side as
very
well?
very true. What is the big difference between your home setup and your travel setup for this game?
Yeah, so the difference with the portable and the home is, so there's actually this guy in Dubai who has both. He has the home version and the the portable version. So the portable scale, I'll just get into it. It utilizes specific antennas, and we found out it goes on a 12-mile radius. That's the base version. And the base version of the portable is utilizing frequencies within a 12-mile radius and restructuring it, harmonizing it, going into the amplifier, and then it's also receiving and so it's also receiving, restructuring, harmonizing into the crystal, and then into the scalar plate as well. So when you're holding on to it, it's also harmonizing with your body. And if you're quiet and you have that ear, you can actually see how it's harmonizing with your own frequency as well. When you wave over the plate, you can hear the crystal going like, yeah. it'll mess with it'll harmonize with your own frequency, so you can tell that it is connected with you in that regard, in that field, in that area. But what this guy did was he actually took a picture of it and then placed it on the scalar while running specific things that he personally need as well.
Wait,
so you can utilize it that way if anyone out there has a capacity,
how does
they want to
wait?
do it, something
Hold
like
up. How
that.
does that work? So he had specific things on his home device that he
Home, yeah, and then but he took a picture
put it,
of his portable scalar
and
and
so
then
when
placed
he
that on
like
there.
say went out
Yeah.
of town with his portable, it's specific programs
Mm-hmm.
that the home.
Exactly. Yeah. And I already told the guy, I'm like, you can just take a piece of your fingernail and then place it on the scalar too, and remotely you could do that. He said, I want to feel it all. So he even did that, and then he took the picture, and yeah, I don't know what specific programs he's going through. Maybe if he wants to share, he can. But he wanted to feel it all, and I'll share his voice testimonial very soon.
That's super interesting. So the portable, you can't program specific frequencies. So that's the biggest.
Yeah, that's why he took a picture of it, because you can't program it with specific frequencies. It's utilizing the frequencies
So
within
the home
the
setup
12-mile
is like
radius.
60,000 plus frequency.
60,000 plus programs you could utilize, and any specific frequencies you guys want in there. If you want a specific frequency on loop, you could also do that. And yeah, have fun with it. I personally use solfeggio frequencies, chemtrail detox, EMF detox, stuff like that into the scalar. A lot of people think, when it comes to going outside in the forest and stuff like that, a lot of people think it doesn't affect them, but it does, because are things growing out of season in the forest? That's the feedback I've been getting with farmers. Now, when we implement scalar at those specific spaces, things are quote unquote growing out of season. To me personally, I don't believe in out of season. It's allowing Mother Nature to finally breathe. And because the soil is not just affecting her in the US, the soil connects just like a network all around the world. There's a reason why the Amazon forest, even though you don't see chemtrails and stuff like that in the Amazon, there's a reason why forever chemicals is still found in the Amazon soil.
Well,
so it goes to show you how connected the
there's like a network of like
really is.
mycelium that's like spread throughout the whole world, right? And so, dang, if we could just target that with the scalar.
Hey, one person at a time, one place at a time.
Can you travel
No
with
rush.
the home device?
Yeah, I travel with the home device all the time. It's just technically the laptop, and I with the home device, I don't prefer check-in anymore, because who knows how they're handling it. Something might break. So yeah, just bring it with you. You should be fine traveling with
So
it.
it's portable in its own sense also. Pretty cool.
Yeah, for the events that we're doing, all you have to do is buy a generator, a small generator, because it doesn't use that much power, depending on how long you want the experience to be. For the generator we're going to use, it's rechargeable and all that, and it runs about 4 hours. And technically with the laptop is mainly the one that's using the power. Everything else, it doesn't need that much charge. Yeah, and then for this event that's coming up, like, we're literally going to do that, and I'm actually going to run a copper wire connected to a tree, and then everyone run that copper wire connected to everyone with the scalar headphones as well. and guide them through a breath journey with the pyramid over there.
Yeah, I saw.
So that'll be a whole
So can you
experience.
talk a little bit about the headphones?
Yeah, so the headphones are scalar infused. We even spray them with essential oils, and it's also going to be grounded. So there's not EMF radiation coming from the headphones. That's one of the main intentions we wanted to hold key to doing this type of event. So that's a beautiful thing about this is the headphones itself is scalar infused. So whether people realize it or not, they're
And
harmonizing with it.
so is there sound coming out of it? Like, do you hear?
Oh yeah, yeah. So we're gonna be guiding them through a journey, and everyone's gonna be in their own bubble, so to speak, and having their own experience while I'm guiding them through the breath and the reggae and the Hans Zimmer. That's gonna be the mix, and then maybe towards the end we might have a static dance, maybe if time permits, and everyone can be able to dance with the headphones on.
So the scalar blocks out the Bluetooth. So
It
right,
harmonizes it.
because
Keyword harmonizes. It's not a blocker.
to
It's a harmonizer.
use
Harmonious frequencies that our body is great for. Dr. Ibrahim, he's a great. It's literally all the scalar stuff. All the research is there. So Dr. Ibrahim, he proved that certain, I don't want to say ancient, but to me, eternal sacred geometry that is harmonious for our bodies. When you even place them on something like a flat screen TV, you can actually read how the EMF readings go down dramatically just by certain symbols and stuff of that nature being placed on something like that. So what it's doing, it's harmonizing, and it's not blocking. It's not, because if everything is energy, right? So why block it when you can utilize it? And that teaches us ourselves also a beautiful lesson as well, because I see mainstream breathwork experiences go like, exhale what no longer serves you, or exhale the bullshit. And I'm like, in a way, you realize you're that exhale is going to return to you one way or another. And in a way, you're also training your subconscious every time you exhale to do something like that. So why not exhale more life into progression, exhale more life into the energy that is feeding you regardless. Train because again, it's the subconscious mind that rules 90% of this world. And our ancestors also taught us why we do the most healing in dream state, right? So there's a powerful connection with that, and the breath is one of them.
Yeah, so very true. Like, that's why, like, a lot of people nowadays, they're not getting into that REM sleep, so they're like waking up exhausted, like everyone's getting like, not everyone, but a lot of people are getting like autoimmune or like issues that are just coming up that they haven't had their whole life, and a lot of it has to do with like their sleep patterns too, which is like fascinating how like it correlates back to our ancestors and like our forgotten world, I like to call it, because it's like just been buried deep with fake history. But how did you
Yeah, I was even going to make a point, because I saw this video going around, and she was talking about this lady. She was saying how people use psychedelics for this, or not using it in the right way, etc., etc. And then I commented, I'm like, and I want to share this, that breath is also psychedelic. Think about it like this: all the colors around you, it's affecting you in a psychological way. So everything is psychedelic. How you breathe and how you harmonize with those experiences is so important, because even though the foods that you eat may not be considered quote unquote psychoactive, to me they are. Everything you eat has a psychoactive resonance, because your brain reads it. Because let's not forget as well, the gut is the other brain. So in a way, it's very contradictive when people say that, oh, mushrooms are this way and pineapples are another way. In essence, it still has a consciousness when it goes inside your stomach, or meat is that way. It has a consciousness. reading within your body in terms of at least the stomach, because the same matter that the stomach is made out of, the brain is also made out of that same white matter as well. So there is your brain to stomach to heart as well, same
that's
matter.
why it's all connected.
Connection.
And that's the one thing
the Trinity, the holy Trinity. There it is.
It's so true, because it's like all these people like who have concussions, if they're not eating properly, they're going to still have like brain fog. They're going to have memory problems. They're like, because if you're not fueling your brain properly, you're not healing yourself, and vice versa. If you're not like fueling your stomach properly, what's your mind doing? And a lot of like kids my age are like having like depression, anxiety, all these things, and it's like, well, what are you fueling yourself with? Like, whether that's like food, whether those are drinks, whether that's like just social media, like what are you actually feeding yourself? Like, and it's like, if it's just garbage, you're going to be feeling like garbage, right? So it's so crazy to watch how it all correlates. And like when you actually like decide to change your life for you, and like you just see everything start in place, like you know. But
it's a
yeah,
symphony,
and it's all orchestrated
really
by yourself, you know. So how can you get your life? You know, you come up with this sacred geometry for your scalar stickers, because it's
yeah. So yeah, some of it is inspired by Tibet as well. There's African symmetry in there as well. So it's all literally layered all into one. Some by Dr. Ibrahim as well, because he proven what some of that geometry can do. So we added some of that in there as well, inspirations of it in there. And by the way, all of this is not medical advice. This is only frequency advice. I just want to remind everyone there.
that's pretty cool. So you just pulled pieces of what you thought would, like, they did well, and they did well. Like, that's really interesting. Like,
exactly. It wasn't like Tesla. It wasn't just Tesla working on something. It was also Odin. There was also names like so many great names. But it was funny because when this, I forgot what specific book I was reading, but this book came out and they were saying at a one point, I think it was Odin that was fighting over the copywriter, saying that I invented this first or that first. I'm like, in reality, there is no inventing. It's just awareness of what is, right? You know, that's the unfortunate world of patents in a sense. And that's why, you know, heart-led leaders, heart-centered leaders are coming out with open source, right? Even the organ amplifiers that we're utilizing with the Scalar plates, it's also open source. So all of this is just coming together in great timing, because now we're seeing what one aspect of reality is doing. Now it's time to tap into another and just be aware of how expansive that can really be. Why limit ourselves into that regard? Into that reality.
No, we've been limited so long, like, and it's just like we're finally breaking away from that, and it's like really interesting to watch that happen.
And it's following natural law. That's natural law will always be on top. So the point is to follow it, accept it, harmonize with it, and allow it to carry the wind to every feeling of touch that fills your very soul, and utilize that to guide you to your actions, to whatever that may be, to whatever creations you have.
That's very how many pictures can you put on the scalar at once?
Unlimited amounts, so as you want.
On top, like
unlimited amounts. Yeah, we have over thousands at this point. A picture when you came over, I showed you the big
So
stacks.
like they can be covered. The like
Yeah, they can be covered. The point is, so when you get the Scalar device, I have on the Google Doc the actual blueprint you can print out and just stack a bunch of pictures as you want on top of it, or just have it near it. I mean, technically, and that's also, we put the stickers. That's why we put every Scalar sticker on, well, sorry, every Scalar that we ship out, the Scalar plates, we place our sticker on there as well. So now it's utilizing our own network, and everyone's pumping out harmonious frequencies of all different types of wavelength into that imprint. And that's why we also gave people who can't afford Scalar to also the Scalar water. And if you want to be very specific as well, we also offer those services as well. Just like what you've been through, we can program specific frequencies. Also, that has to deal with getting one of these. That's also in there in terms of detoxing. That's also in there as well. I don't, when it comes to, that or specific stuff, I say, don't get the 7-day experience. Aim to get the Scalar water, because the Scalar water, you can take your time with it.
It's like you
and do
said, like
drops at
you
a
were
time.
telling me, like you don't need a lot, and it's like really strong. You really don't need that much. Like I don't know, when did I see you? Was it like almost 2 weeks ago? And like I'm
Yeah.
barely going through it because you really don't need that much. Yeah,
You're
you
so on it.
really
You're so on
like
top. Yeah.
putting one drop in is it's like electrifies my brain like
Oh,
no wait
did you put it in your eyes? Oh, you gotta
all right, I'll let you
try
know.
that.
My mom would probably like really benefit from that because like she
Oh yeah, she has
dang,
glasses, right? Yeah.
that's crazy. Like, yeah, like I have glasses but I have 20/20 vision. It's because from hitting my brain, the concussion like just didn't heal properly, so my eyes are seeing. So,
Mm. That's also a powerful way of taking in structured water. A form of it is also what they call Sananga as well. But now we're dealing with Scalar, where it's specific programs that you need in this moment in time, and you'll take that in the eyes, but it's also going to the brain as well, into the cerebral area when you take it, going to the cortex, feeding into the other eye, the pineal, the other
when we get
middle
out,
eye
we'll
right
do
there.
that. I'm
So
gonna
that's
put the eye
powerful.
drops in. That's really cool. Um,
All right, we're back. Yeah, well, sister, really appreciate you coming on. Thank you for sharing your experiences.
no, thank
We got to ship
you
out
so
some orders. And yeah, do you have any other questions, by the way? You have any other questions for me, or
much.
anything else you really wanted to
I think
share?
we touched base on a lot of things. Ooh, I'm in my little home base. Have you heard of this Halo?
Oh yeah, we talked
So
about the Halo. Yeah, we
I
did.
didn't bring it with me, but um, sorry. It's like this light. Uh, it's like a blue light, if you can see, and it has different um vials. Um,
Miles,
each one does like
right?
they all have like different herbs, and so they all stand for different things, and like combat like illnesses or nutrition. What is your thoughts on implementing like light? I know you love the red light.
Infrared. Yeah.
But
Uh, hey, if it's beneficial and it comes with inspiration from the sun, I say why not? Uh, so with the infrared, I also want to share this. A lot of people may not try, or may have not tried this, because when it comes to infrared technology, or when people share it, they don't also share that you can also go outside where the sun is also beaming on you, and also shine the infrared on you as well. And now you're quote unquote harmonizing. Because also, no matter where you are in the world during winter time, actually the infrared spectrum coming from the sun goes down dramatically. So when you have infrared light now shining on you, now you're using the natural element that is the sun, that is also technically a scalar device, and you're harmonizing and you're telling that spectrum of light to amplify as it touches your body or wherever you're shining the infrared.
Because like being from Chicago, it's really hard to deal with these winters. Like, and I noticed that as soon as I get to Miami, I'm like feeling a lot better. The sun is on me, like, you know.
Close to the equator, yeah. Back to close to the center.
That with the infrared too.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, sister.
Are you
Battery's
saving
about
this
to
live?
fall off.
All right.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I'm saving
Thank you so
live.
much, Devon. Blessings.
Thank you. Have a breathful day. Let's stay in contact. And when you do get the home scalar device, keep me in mind and do share your journey. And I guess we'll do another live and
of course,
you
we'll
share
be
your
in
thoughts
touch.
on that.
Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye. Much love.
Peace, sister.